it's me, Renee. I'm back. So today I'm here for the first part of my June wrap up. Wrap up. Always feels weird to say wrap up. Wrap up. Wrap up. I suppose it's more normal way to say it. But yeah. Just a little FYI. I'm doing this. We'll film this a bit early because, well, A, because these are books I already read, so I might as well film it and just talk about them. So it's done. But mainly B. Oh, okay. So B and mainly A. I've been doing a bit of cleaning. You might see. Cause yeah, it's a bit early also. But next year I'm moving out. I'm moving to an apartment, and so I'm started slightly moving my stuff over there. Well, my stuff. I've moved one bookshelf, so some books are going in into boxes until further notice. So, and because of some of these books that go to boxes, I thought like, let's do a video using them, so you don't have to go get the boxes and then put them back. It's easy, isn't it? Well, it's smart that way. And yeah, let's get to them. So yeah, this has been June. This has been June. You know it's June. But yeah, so most of these are LGBTQ plus books, and let's start. So I'm going to start with this one, not Google, not the girls you're looking for, by Amina Nay Safi. So this one actually is nuts. Sorry, now I'm being silly. Yeah, this one I'm actually not sure what is because I DNF'd it pretty soon. So you see here it has praised by Sandy Manon, and on the back it has praised other people. Honestly, I didn't think it was all that. I got like maybe one or two chapters in. I thought it was fine, but I wasn't that interested. And I'm not gonna force myself to read or finish books that I'm not interested in. Not when I have a huge pile of books that look much better. So yeah, and also I went into this one thinking it was a sapphic romance. It turns out, well, at least from what little I read, it wasn't. So yeah, I didn't really want to prioritize finishing a book that's not pride queer in a way. So yeah, this one was a boo for me. A boo. It was almost just me. So there's that. And then you have How Not to Ask a Boy to Prom by S.J. Gusley. So this one, I think I end up giving 3 stars, and I might give it a trilogy. I'm not quite sure. This is one of those books that are kind of like in the middle. It's not amazing or very good or good, almost amazing, but it's not boring. I would say, honestly though, like okay, if you have like a scale, like if here is like awful books that just should be burned and just have no purpose, more or less no purpose, and then you have some books that have some purpose, so like 1.5 stars, and then you have 2 star books, and then you have 3 star books that are like good. They're not something to write home about, but they're good. I would say this one is maybe 3 star, like it's good. It's not a book have been walking around thinking much about. It's not a book that's revolutionary, at least not in my mind. But then again, it's not bad. There's not much bad about it, but I would say like you see here, it's not huge, so naturally, well, I suppose not naturally, but like often our books aren't long. They kind of like shallow. You can't really go into stuff deeply when you don't have that many pages. And this one, yeah, I thought it was good, but yeah, I didn't love it. It wasn't boring, but it wasn't much more than boring. It wasn't much more than boring. It wasn't much more than a not boring. Yeah, that's kind of how I would describe it really. It wasn't boring, but it wasn't much more. It in a way it reminded me a bit of Simon Who's the Homo Sapiens Agenda, because it's a character that's gay and he knows he's gay, and he hasn't had a boyfriend yet. Though in this one he's already out to his family. No, maybe it's not. Yeah, he is out to his family, but you have like the family aspects and stuff. But yeah, I didn't love it, didn't hate it, didn't think it was very good, wasn't very boring, it was kind of in the middle, it's in the middle book really. So yeah, and also it's kind of sad because I just noticed actually today it says here that Camilla Perry, author of When Kate Met Cassidy, she blurbed and said, "If you're looking for a novel to fill the to all the boys I've loved before, shaped hole in your heart, this is the book for you." I wouldn't really say this. Protagonist isn't Asian or Asian American. It's not that cutesy. It's not that entertaining. I suppose maybe I'm in the minority, but I did see in Goodreads that not everyone loves this, so I don't think I am. So yeah. Then we're gonna move on to a book that I really enjoyed. Yes, not all the books from June were bad. Well, misses. Some were good. Some were. So this is Juliet Takes a Breath by Gabby Rivera. It's a standalone. It came out last year, and you've probably heard of it. Oh, so unlikely you heard of it. It's a book set around a summer, and Juliet she ends up taking an internship in in like where is internship again? So she's from New York, and she takes an internship in Oakland, Ottawa, in Portland, Oregon. So yeah, the other side of the country. And the book is all about feminism and queerness and aspects of feminism and how to be feminist and be a feminist and queer, and feminist and person of color, and all these intersectionalities. Yeah, intersectionality is a very good word for this one, really. Also, it has some sex scenes. Well, some sex scene. It has one sex scene. It has some romance in there. I thought it didn't really have romance going into it, and then I saw like, oh, it has romance, so it's fun. It's not. I wouldn't call it a romance book, but it has a romance plot line in it, and yeah, all in all, it makes you think, and it's both like some of the things like you read like, well, duh, and then some of the things like, oh yeah, that's hadn't thought of that before, but yeah, that's true, at least for me. Some were basic, some were like new epiphanies in a way, and yeah, I really recommend this book. Very good book to read, and it's not that long, and yeah, let's move on. And we have Rat Queens number 4 by or High Fantasies, Volume 4, High Fantasies, written by Veeb, Jenny, and Ferrier. So this is a high fantasy comic, as you might see, about a group of girls, well, I suppose more women because they're all adults, who go around fighting monsters and stuff. And several of them, one of them at least is lesbian. That one. This book doesn't have the story doesn't have much of lesbianism like front and center, but it's there. And yeah, I did enjoy this. So yeah, I read the first book in Rat Queen series in December, loved it. Then read book 2 and 3 in early this year. Don't remember when, but early this year. Didn't love them that much, and volume number 3 really very much disappointed me. It just let me down big time. Then volume 4, I liked it, but it's like I never really got back my love for it as I did as a like I never reached the love I have for series from when I read the first volume. So I'm probably thinking I'm gonna give this a charity now because yeah, I just kind of discovered that I think for me it was just kind of one off. I really liked the first volume, but then I just kind of the whole concept wasn't really that much for me. Like there's blood, and then there's gore, and then there's yeah. I mean, I like the camaraderie, but other than that, I can get the camaraderie from other places. So yeah. It's a good one, but it's kind of my goodbye to the series. Then we have A Love and Other Curses by Michael Thomas Ford. So this is a gay love story. Well, gay love story. Protagonist is gay, and he has somewhat of a love story. It doesn't end well. Sorry, spoiler. It doesn't end well, but he has somewhat like he has a few dates, and so this was good, but I didn't love it. I like the idea behind it. Okay, so yeah, the concept is that the protagonist, he is called what? I'm just gonna find name Sam. 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 So Sam, for a few years before this book started, he kind of wandered into a drag queen bar, and he's ended up kind of hanging behind those scenes in the backstage area. He's gay. Hasn't really. Well, he's gay and he's come out to his family, but he hasn't really met anyone yet, and he hasn't really been that much like on the gay scene yet. And he's from a small town, so I suppose he can't really be out and gay like in a way. Like he can be out, but he can't really go to gay spaces and stuff. There's not many gay spaces to go to really. So yeah, and then so this takes place during the summer. He meets a boy while he's working for his dad at his dad's kiosk, and he thinks like, oh, this boy is really cute. And then inadvertently, it turns out that the boy, he even though he's on his way, he hasn't transitioned completely. So he's born a girl, but he is a boy. So he's a trans boy. And then they start becoming friends, and then the boy, trans boy, um, ends up dating a girl. So that's kind of sad for Sam because Sam likes the boy, and kind of stuff happens. I would say like I read one review on Goodreads said that the author of this was transphobic. I'm not sure I can say it's transphobic because I'm not trans myself, so I don't really feel like it's my place to say what's transphobic or not, or at least I didn't really see it as transphobic, but I thought it's trans problematic because some aspect of this, like, what are you doing? You can't do that. That's wrong. There were some slurs and stuff in it, so I didn't really like that. And all in all, like, so there's also some magical realism aspects to it. I would say, like, in a way, it's slightly similar to the Raven Cycle, but not completely. It's kind of the same vein. Like this, the family is magical and etc. etc. But I don't know. I didn't really feel like it was done enough well. I ended up skimming the last part of the book, and yeah, now it's going to charity. I think I gave it 2 stars, maybe 3 stars, 2 stars. Yeah, some of the bits was good, but most of it wasn't boring, but it could have been done much better. And I felt like it had potential. I like the idea of it. As I said, I like the idea of it, but it just didn't really follow through on the good ideas, really, at least in my mind. So yeah, kind of another miss for me. And then I'm just gonna go into anonymous. But yeah, fortunately, some of the books that I read this month, well, some of the books, maybe quite a lot of them, I haven't really done the numbers, but I think quite a few of them were either boring or like awful or letdowns. So yeah, that's a bit sad, really. But what are you gonna do when you read a book for the first time? You can't really know what you're gonna get. You can think you might get something good, but you can't expect. You can't know for sure. So yeah, up next we have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I read this when it came out back in 2013. Yeah, loved it then. I've owned it ever since. I've had it on my Goodreads favorite shelves because I loved it the first time I read it. I think I might have read it twice before, but at least I haven't read it now for a few years. And I just kind of decided I wanted to reread it. I suppose this is kind of on the fence because the carry on aspect of this is gay, but the main aspects is not that queer, but what have you. But I kind of wanted to read it, and yeah, I suppose not all the reads I read this month were queer, but a lot of them were. And yeah, Fangirl. So yeah, my image of it from before was like I loved it. I thought it was one of my favorite books. I just loved it, loved it. This time I read it, like the first few chapters, I felt like, oh, it's so fun being back in this world. I love being in Cat's head and etc. etc. And afterwards, I was like, Cat, why are you making that decision? Why are you making that decision? Why are you doing that? And I don't know. I suppose I just kind of lost interest and I didn't really. I felt like a lot of her decisions, a lot of characters in the book made were unlogical and not natural, and they didn't really feel true or right. And yeah. So now, honestly, this is actually going to charity because I don't really think I'll read it again. And yeah, some people actually, I think it seems like some people will just keep all the books that they buy, they never own anything. I read so much, and I buy quite a few books, so I kind of have to give away books, or else I would drown in books, and I kind of don't want to do that. So yeah, this is going bye. Then last, oh, oops, the last three ones here are not hits. They're not misses. They're hits. So yeah, I'm ending on a good note. And also, these aren't all the books I read in June, but they're like all the physical copies. So yeah, that's kind of what because I'm moving them away, so I'm doing them now. Repeating myself. Ha, fun! Yeah. Anyway, Spells on Wheels by Kate Leeds. So this is the first in the series. I think it's a series anyway. So on Goodreads, I found that you could find this like in shorter installments, or you could like find this in all in one. Find all in one, and it seems like all in one is just on one bind up. So I don't know. I don't know if it's not coming in anything more, or if it's probably coming after a while. Yeah, I'm just gonna double check. When did this come out? This came out in 2017, so it's been some time. But it seems like the author it has been doing other stuff as well. But yeah, anyway. So the plot point. The plot of this is that these three girls, sorry, girls. It feels a bit weird to say girls when they're adults. These three young ladies. You're wrong. These three ladies. Ladies is a good name. Ladies. It's a good word. Ladies. They're friends. They live together, and they're witches. It's set in the modern day, so it's urban fantasy. And so far, so far in this story, there's no magical cities like in Shadowhunters. You have Idris and stuff like this. It's all set in our world. It's just that they're magical abilities in our world. And in the beginning of the story, they get robbed, so they have to travel around the country to get back their stuff because their stuff is important and good. And along the way, they meet monsters and idiots and ghosts and stuff. And yeah, it's just very good. And then you have that girl, which Claire. Claire, she is a lesbian. I don't know if the others are lesbians or bi, but at least Claire we know is a lesbian. Or sorry, we know she has interest for a girl because there's one scene on it. Other than that, though, there aren't really that much queer aspects of this book, like direct aspects of it. But still, it's a very good story. Highly enjoyed it. It's just fun. It wasn't gory, but I love the camaraderie and the lines and everything in it. And yeah, I highly recommend it. Cafe Triarch. I talked about this one earlier in another video. I can remember who talked to me about it. Talked to me about who recommended it, and it's Cafe Triarch. She talked about this uh, in one of the videos, so I'll link her down below. And yay, thank you, Kathy. This is just a very good book story. Thank you for your recommendations. I'm definitely gonna check out if there's more of it on the way. That one was a very good reading experience. On the same day, because yeah, it matters, but I ended up reading this and Rat Queen's number 4, like on the same afternoon because I kind of decided to go on a comic book binge. Now you know that. And then, so the same day, I also read Princeless, Raven, the Pirate Princess. So this is a spin-off of Princeless, which Princeless is a series. I would say that's much more aimed towards yeah, yeah, towards kids, though I'm not really an expert. But like I read Princeless earlier this year, I felt like it was very childish and stuff. I loved the idea, but just felt very childish. This one feels a bit more grown up. So, and it's a spin-off, so you don't really need to read the other one to read this one. And this is the first in the series, so it works perfectly to just start here. So it starts with the words Raven. She's the daughter of a pirate king, and her dad, he ended up putting her in a tower, and instead of giving her his ship, he gave the ship to her brothers, and so she had to like just sit away in a tower waiting for some prince to come and get her and help her. And this all happened before it started, so it's not spoilers. But behold, the one from the original series came and got her from the tower with a dragon. She was saved. Yay, girl power! But now Raven, she doesn't have a crew. She doesn't have a boat. Well, she has a boat. She got a boat from one of her brothers. She stole it. But she doesn't have a crew. So this book is more or less, in a way, it's kind of like a prologue, because this story is all about her finding a crew. It's nothing much more than just finding a crew, and it's not a huge comic, but it's still a very good comic. You get a little backstory on the covers, on the characters, and yeah, it's has like a fun little introduction to this world, and yeah, this one highly enjoyed, highly recommend. And Raven is lesbian or queer. She might be bisexual. It's not completely stated, but at least she has feelings for a girlfriend, a girl that's a friend. English. But yeah, and the others we don't really know so far. But at least there's one queer aspect to this story, and yeah, so check it out. It's very good. And yeah, just perfect if you want just like a little short read, really, because it's just you fly by it because it's comic and it's entertaining, and yeah. We're up to the last physical book, last book of this part of the video. It's been 22 minutes. Yeah, it's quite a few books and I've talked about them, so it happens. It's a wrap up. It's supposed to be long, at least in my mind. So the last one we're going to talk about is Red, White, and Royal Blue. So I read this before. I read it in December last year. But I said I would do a reread of it in June, or like this year, and I ended up doing it in June because Pride. And yeah, though I love it, I would say like it was kind of fun rereading it. Like some people say like, well, often you get new ideas when you reread a book and stuff. Some people say that they wanted to reread this urge so fast after reading it first time. I kind of wanted, but I just read other stuff and stuff. And I think I heard people who like already read like 2 or 3 or 4 times because it's so good, even though like it came out last year. So I can really understand that. Um, and then yeah, my thoughts on it. I really enjoy it. It's very comforting. Some people say that they feel like this story is maybe too unrealistic and too comfortable, too nice. I mean, this I suppose in a way there's not a lot of conflict like the spoiler alert, not spoiler. Everyone's heard about this book. They know about this book, but yeah. So the relationship they get together pretty quickly. Some people say they kind of wanted them to be more slow burn. I kind of like it being that you go together quickly. You can see them together, and also they don't really get together and like are out. Like they still have to hide from like the universe, like the society. So it's still not like a complete normal situation in a way. So you still kind of have that conflict, like trying to hide themselves and stuff. Which of course it's kind of bad that you have to hide your relationship, of course. But I suppose in a way it's kind of fun trying to have that plot line of like hiding and not letting people discover stuff and stuff. And I really enjoyed also that you had, it's not just a love story, but it's also a story of politics. So like you follow them through. It's an election year, so you follow them through the election year of the second election of the United States election. So you have that names. I'm just gonna double check. But you have that people of the people. Anyway, you have that Republican who's going against Alex's mom. So you have all that shenanigans, and then you also have that stuff with names. I should track stuff first, but I don't realize the check stuff first. What is this? Yeah, Jeffrey Richards is the Republican. And then you have, what's the name of the, yeah, Luna, Senator Luna. He's like the friend of the family, and there's some stuff happening around there with the politics there. So I really like the plot line as well. And yeah, I kind of feel like I really like that. Yeah, this is mainly a romance, but still, you kind of feel like you get to know all the characters in a good way. Like, none of the characters are flat, at least not in my mind. And all of the characters get like a plot line, and you kind of, yeah, it's not like the character is like the sister, the mom, the stepdad. I suppose maybe stepdad is not that much there at all, really, but he's still like interesting. So yeah, I really like how all the characters are elaborated and characterized are, yeah, they're full flesh 3D characters, and I really enjoy that. I saw someone, who was it? Yeah, Jesse from Botas and Books talk about this one and saying how it's not very well or perfect Latin American or Mexican American representation. I suppose that's kind of true. I mean, it's there, but it's not very much there. I suppose the gayness is more there than the Latin Americanness. I suppose it could do that more, but I liked how it was. But I suppose, and also like, which book is perfect? I suppose some books are, but like few books are perfect in any way. And I would say, honestly, in my mind, this is uh, one of the almost perfect books I've read. Really, I love almost every aspect of it. It's just so good, so good. I suppose though, okay, just sign out. But I'm just gonna tell you. So I'm Norwegian. Here in Norway, we have a royal family. So it's kind of fun to read like the royal romance stuff and that stuff, because like I can relate. I'm a part of a country that has royal family, so I know a bit about that stuff. But of course, the royal family in England and royal family in Norway, it's not completely similar. But I mean, they're both royal families, and sometimes I feel like, is that what's going on there? Is that what's going on there? I kind of feel like maybe it's like, don't the media like hash on them too much? And also, yeah, spoiler alert though, like it's not everyone's, my mom has read this for the first time probably, but if you don't, spoiler alert. So a big thing in this book is that Henry is gay and he's Prince of Wales, and of course princes can't be gay, even though Henry himself says that a lot of princes or a lot of royals in the past has been gay, so it's not a new thing really. But yeah, but there's like this big thing of like him living in closet, and he can't be gay, and he has to be a prince, and etc etc. Like in the end, he ends up having a cake, is eating it too. He ends up being out and proud. We're not quite sure if he like loses his title or what happens really. I don't really think it's that clear stated, but anyway, he he gets to be out and gay in the end. But like towards the end, when I talk about like when Henry said like he can't be with Alex, he has to pretend to be straight. He can't live a life of being his own true self, gay self, because he's a prince. I'm like, come on! No, no, no. I mean, I could maybe understand it if you were an only child. You're not. Henry, you have two siblings. You're not the crown prince. Your brother's the crown prince. Your brother will bring the heirs. You will not give the heirs. So, like, if I suppose, yeah, if your brother was killed in a terrorist attack or something, yeah, then you'd kind of need an heir. But like, still, you'd have your sister. So you can give some people. It's not like you have to give theirs. So like in that, because that's of course a lot of that and arguments like you have to bring the heir to the family line, to the relationship, to the country, and like no, because he's not the crown prince. He doesn't have to do it. So that's 1 point. 2 points. It's okay. So you need an heir. Can't you adopt? Is it that impossible to adopt? I mean, does it need to be blood? I don't really understand that aspect of it because, like, isn't the majority of the idea like the upbringing? Like, if you bring a person up in some place, like from it's like a few months or like maybe it's from the first day, and it lives like the whole 18 years or maybe whole life in that society, in that world. Doesn't matter what the blood is. It doesn't. And you could even maybe try to find a job that looks like you, so people will believe it's yours. So people can like live in their own bubble. But like, what? What? It just annoys me so much, so much. It's just not logical, really. I don't really get that. And also, part three. So, and this is also kind of like one of the big differences between Norway and the US, the UK. The UK, they have like all these noblemen and noble people, so like they have a big royal family, so like they have like a big, all the people are in line, so like if something sad happens, if the royal family gets killed, like the queen, her husband, and like their immediate family, well, then you have cousins, then you have cousin James, cousin Pat, cousin, etc., etc. Yeah, like they have a long tree of like people who could like inherit the throne. In a way, we actually don't have that. Don't actually have noble people. We don't have noblemen. So in Norway, it's just the king, queen, and the immediate family. So like if the king and queen dies, and if the crown prince dies, and if the crown prince's sister, like the princess dies, well, then we're screwed. I don't really know what we'll do that. We're probably screwed. But that's not how it is in the UK. So like, can't you use one of the cousins? Haven't they all been indoctrinated into like the society and the environment? It annoys me so much. And at kind of point three, so not three, four, which goes into like point one. But Harry says like, well, no, he has to be a prince. He can't be gay. He has to be a prince and be straight and like pretend to be straight and all that jazz. And, like he has responsibilities. Like, um, you do know people do actually abdicate. You have had people who abdicate in the UK. There was a UK prince who abdicated because, well, was forced to abdicate because he was Nazi. It's been described in the book, actually, so the book knows it. You have a Norwegian princess in 2002, 2003 who abdicated. Well, slightly, she gave up some of her responsibilities because she wanted to be a normal, well, more normal person. So it's perfectly possible to not be a completely prince and have all the obligations and all the stuff. I suppose maybe it's different from Norway to the UK, but like still, I don't think it's that different. And also, like you see now with not Harry, he's abdicated. It's fine. Well, I suppose it's not. It's been some hullabaloo around it, but like it's been done. It's doable. So that kind of annoyed me really, but I suppose it kind of needs some conflict. So I'm fine with it, really, all in all. Also, a little side note at the end there. I just want to read you something. So yeah, as I said, as you noticed for a few minutes, I'm Norwegian. I live in Norway. I'm Norwegian. Um, even though I do this mostly in English, but yeah. So here and also for a little, I suppose you have know this, but like I'm a huge book nerd, so I kind of like to read like acknowledgements of thank yous. So I won't read all of this, but I'll read a little bit at the back here, because this is quite interesting. At the end here, she says, yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna read the whole paragraph because it's more natural in a way, like the whole thing. Well, the whole little thing here. So yeah, to the sources to help me with the mountains of research I did for this: WhitehouseMuseum.org, the Royal Collection Online, My Dear Boy by Victor Norton, the V&A's extremely helpful website, Countless Others. Shouldn't you add countless others? Well, I suppose it depends. To the country of Norway, literally, for the week that broke me out of the slump and made 100,000 words for the first draft happen. So apparently Norway helped you out of the slump, but does it share anything more? Like, so country of Norway. She didn't go to a place in the US called Norway. A lot of people have like similar names. But no, she went to Norway. Did you go to Bergen? Did you go to Oslo? Did you go for Lofoten? Did you meet queer people in Norway and inspired by them? Did you talk to Norwegian royal family? What happened in Norway? As a Norwegian, I would like to know, please. I mean, yeah, maybe if you're just American and just some people who are not Norwegian, you might not really care. But for me, I want to know, like, all these things could be true. Like, Oslo is a pretty nice city, capital. Bergen is very beautiful. It's on list all over the world. That could help you out of the reading slump. Lofoten is so beautiful. Yeah, we have so many beautiful places. We have so many interesting famous people. So this, I mean, it could be a lot. And you haven't said really what it is. You haven't specified. I looked it up online. You haven't said it in any interviews. Casey, Mike Winston, could you please, give me an answer? I want an answer, please. Okay, so yeah, that's a bit of a long start for this wrap up, but yeah. And there aren't really that many more books left, but there are some books left, and yeah. So, bye bye for now. This is me, saying Renee, out. Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. So, yeah, I forgot some books from my my June wrap up, as always, as I often do. So I decided to like film this and add it in, and also do the rest of the books that I haven't talked about from last part. And yeah, so going off script by Jenny Wild. It was a bad read for me. I did over on Goodreads. This is a contemporary that came out last year. It's a romance. The romance is lesbian, so it's sapphic. Neither of the protagonists are bi. No, they're both lesbian. One of them is a lesbian Indian American, so that's fun. The other one is Caucasian American. We don't really know what more, but pretty sure it seems to kind of stated that she's white. And yeah, so this book takes place in LA. The protagonists. Just gonna double check her name. Bex. She gets an internship in LA. She's interning at a TV show, and so the book is all about straight washing characters and gayness in Hollywood and stuff like that, as well as her own journey. It's very good. You have her that's queer, you have her cousin that's gay, and then you have other people that are gay. So you have different sexualities in this one book. You have one non-binary person that's not very much in the book, but they are there. And yeah, all in all though, this book, it was good. The beginning of it was predictable, but fine and good. And then coming to like the middle, it was like, oh, interesting. And then suddenly stuff started um, started being started getting more intense and things starting much more happening. So I would say the second half is better than the first half, but all in all, it's a good read. It's a good book. It's not a waste of my time, really. It's not fantastic, but it's good. It's good. I still would say that I enjoy Queens of Geek, her first book, the most. And yeah, Bright Stars are DNF'd, so I suppose this one um, will be my second favorite of Jenna Wilde's books. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was a good read. And yep, yep. Sorry. And then we have Arvingen by Anne Gunn Halvorsen or Randi Fuglehaug. So, as you might suspect, this is a Norwegian book. It's Norwegian and it's by Norwegian authors. I got this one from work as a ARC, and it's kind of described, at least in my mind, as like type of Prince Charming by Richard Hawkins-ish. So it's set in modern day, it's contemporary, and it's a romance with royalties, and it's a romance with royalties for the teens. So it's not the royal we, but it's for teens. It's a teen love story with a royal aspect to it. I would say I enjoyed this one, but honestly, it's just under 300 pages. It's 270 pages, so it's not very long. It kind of showed because I felt like most of the characters or most of the stuff really could be more fleshed out, and I felt like some of the characters in the love story could be more fleshed out. I felt like the decisions of the protagonist was like, why are you doing this? But I think the majority of the people, like I suppose, I think teens will love it. For me, as a 20 something, it got a bit too drama sometimes, but I did like it. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll do a review on this one particularly, just for this book. I think I might, but of course, if I'll do that, I'm probably going to do it in Norwegian. But yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about it right now. I also talked about it in my book haul that's filmed but not out. So in that one, I was very excited for this book. Sadly, my expectations weren't met. I thought it was going to be awesome. It wasn't, but it was good. It was good. I really enjoyed it. And also, it was very funny. I didn't expect that. Often Norwegian books, they aren't really that good. Like the few ones I try to read are all so melodramatic and bad, and they're not really for me. So reading Norwegian books that are funny and really good, that's surprising to me, and that's something I don't expect. So I suppose that aspect was good of it, but most of all, it wasn't that good really. So yeah, those two I didn't talk about earlier, so now I'll talk about them. And then in addition to those, I also read You Should See Me You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. It's it's an audiobook, so that's why I don't have it to show you. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up my audiobooks as well in this clip because why not? And yeah, so you should see me in a crown by Leah Johnson. It's a contemporary book by a black lesbian author, and it's her debut book, and it's been kind of grabbed off by the shelves by like everyone. I suppose partly because of this whole movement to read more black authors because of BLM lately, but also because reading black authors that are queer voices is also kind of always important or always good. So yeah, it's kind of outsold a lot of places, so that's really good for her. It's so good and definitely worth it. I got an audiobook, so luckily for me, I didn't really have to wait. It was just there. And yeah, it's a book about a girl. She lives in a small town. She's gay and she's out to her family, but hasn't had a first girlfriend yet. There aren't really that many people in her town or in her school that are gay, at least that she knows of. And yeah, and the whole book starts when she finds out she starts getting the scholarship she wanted to her college, and she's like thinking like, what am I going to do now, because she needs scholarship to go to college. The college she was trying to go into was the college that her mom went to, so it's extra important for her to go there. As well as the college, it has a great music program, and she's a great musician. I think it's drums she does, trombone. She plays instrument anyway. It's not that well. It's not that much focus on that one, but yeah. Um, and by circumstance, she ends up trying out for prom queen, because in this town, prom queens they get scholarships and they get money and stuff. So it's like a huge deal for them, prom. And she does that. Unfortunately, you can't go to prom and have a date that's a girl. So if she was going to do that, she couldn't like bring a date, and she has to like pretend to be straight while doing the prom queen preparations and stuff. And then while all this happens, a new girl in town moves in, and she's gay. They start a relationship, but they have to keep it down low because of how the rules in the pageant is. And yeah, so it's just very good. It's a very happy, fun book. Yeah, as well as it's kind of a bit dramatic because her mom is dead. Um, her dad has walked out of them. So it's both happy and sad moments in the book. But all in all, it's just a very good book. It's funny and relatable, and yeah, I just really love it. It's just a great message, and everyone should definitely check it out. It's so good. So yeah, that one. And suddenly I'm blanking, of course. You know what? I'm just gonna find my phone. Just give me a moment here, and I'll check out what I've been reading. Come on. Where are you going? No, it's this weird thingy. You know what? I found a way to do it. Yes, interesting for you. Sorry, guys. I'll be back. Hey, I'm back for the last few books that I didn't talk about that in like in the last clip. So I thought that I read that many, like a lot of books in June, and I suppose I didn't read few books. But first, I thought I still had a lot of books to talk about, but turns out I don't. So this is gonna be shorter than I thought. So yeah, in addition to you should see you should see why can I say it? You should see me in a crown by Leah Johnson. Why do you have trouble with saying that title? I don't know. In addition to that one, anyway, I also listened to The Summer of Jordy Paris and The Best Burger in Town by Amy Spaulding. Yeah, this one came out last year. Everyone and the mom loved it, talked about it so much. Everyone was raving it, giving it best praise ever. So I suppose maybe I had very high expectations. Anyway, I suppose I had a high. I know I had high expectations. And I started listening to it. I liked it. Can't say I loved it. And it's kind of difficult also to like. Sometimes it's annoying when you read a book and you know it's not perfect or you're not loving it, but you can't really put your finger on why. Here, I can't really put my finger on why. I really like all the characters. I like the plots. I like the I like the romance. I like all of it. I suppose, kind of in a way, I felt like in a way that the protagonist was a bit childish. She was supposed to be 17-year-old, and sometimes she felt a bit like a 14-year-old. So that bugged me. But other than that, I can't really say why I didn't love it, but I didn't. On the same, but on the other side, like if Netflix made a movie of it, I would love it. So it's not like I hate the book. I think more, yeah, I think more or less, I really like the idea behind it, but the execution was. mm, I think maybe if someone else wrote the book, like if for example Gail Carriger wrote it, or if Meg Cabot wrote it, or maybe Rachel Hawkins, it would be much better, because I don't know, at least to me, sometimes I read a book, I think like, I like the idea, but I don't really like how it's done here, how it's executed. So sometimes you kind of feel like this would be better in some other author's hands, and yeah, so that's that really. So that was so that's a bit of letdown really. And then I also listened to, this is kind of epic love story by, give me a moment to just double check the name. I think it's, yeah, by Kasen Calendar. They are a non-binary author, and I've heard about this a lot. I think it came out, yeah, pretty sure it came out last year, and it was often been like marketed as Simon vs. the Homo sapiens agenda for persons of color, and so I thought that sounds so good. I started listening to it, and I didn't really like it that much. I felt like it was good. I ended up DNFing it maybe halfway point because there was a lot of cheating. There was a lot of cheating on multiple relationships. So it wasn't just one person who cheated; it was several people who cheated. And I didn't really like any of the characters all that much. There was the main character. He had a potty mouth, and I suppose I don't mind some swearing, but I felt like the swearing here was like very much every other sentence, or like every other word in a way. I felt like it was too much. So yeah, I couldn't really connect to anyone really. I couldn't care. So yeah, I just DNF'd that one. So that one was sadly not for me. So yeah, and those two were both disappointments, sadly. Then I also listened to Love and Luck by Jenna Evans Welsh. It's the second book in her Love and series. The first one is Love and Gelato, and the second one is Love and Luck, and they're both companion books. So some of the characters you see in both books. And so this one, Love and Luck, takes place in Ireland. Honestly, this one, I didn't hate it, didn't love it. I think maybe I listened to it over like 2 or 3 weeks now, actually. Or maybe it was 2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks. And I could have listened to it in a few days, but it wasn't that engaging really. It was fine. I didn't love it really. I, I can't really say what's bad about it. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy there was like a sibling relationship. I like that one. I like the road trip aspect of it. I like most part of it. I suppose what I really didn't like was that from the beginning you kind of knew that the protagonist had like a thing in her past, like something happened in the beginning of summer that changed everything, and she wouldn't tell the reader us what happened before like the third or fourth last chapter. It was just I want to know. Me as a reader, I suppose I suppose it's fine if not all the characters in the world knows about everything, but like me as a reader not knowing anything that Janice knows, I don't know. I don't really like it. I suppose it depends like if it's a fantasy or something, but like in contemporaries, I don't want to be left in dark. It was just so annoying having to guess what's happening and all that stuff, and it just felt kind of like too over dramatized and overdone, and like thought like, okay, she has to have been raped. No, can it be rape? Maybe she's pregnant. No, maybe not. I mean, it's just so. And then it turns out it wasn't that big. Well, it was a big deal. It was like it wasn't that huge deal I thought it was, and yeah, I don't know. Didn't love it. Didn't hate it. It was just kind of fine. It wasn't boring. It was just fine. And then I also listened to Royal Bastards by Andrew Schwartz. It's a book that I've been recommended by, I think it's either Reese or it's Donna Chukunda on BookTube. I'll check out who it is and then I'll link them down below. And yeah, it's a very funny high fantasy series. Well, yeah, it's a very enjoyable high fantasy series where so it's a high fantasy and it starts with this big dinner and everyone comes to the house of the protagonist or castle of the protagonist. Oh yeah, the protagonist is the bastard of a lord. She's not legitimate. She's a bastard, and that's kind of a theme, I suppose. The title, Royal Bastards, it's kind of logical, really. And then this rebellion starts, and just stuff's happening, and then there's a lot of there's peril and danger. Sorry, peril and danger. It's kind of stupid to say. There's lots of danger, and I suppose in a way the book isn't filled with like action and danger. It's more like it's a bit of a slow book, but it's not like slow in a bad way. It's more like you get to know the characters, and but like if you had to sit down and write like what happens in the book, it would just be like 2 or 3 stuff really, because not that much happens in it. But I suppose also like the book isn't that long, and I don't know, I kind of enjoy the book how it was really, and it's the first in the series, so it establishes stuff really well, I think at least. And yeah, so that one I really enjoyed. It has gay characters, but not as protagonists, sadly. So it didn't work that well with my goal to read lots of gay books or queer books for June, but it worked slightly. So yeah, and maybe some of the characters are gay in the book that they simply aren't out of closet yet. I don't know, could be. I mean, sometimes that happens in series. They go out of closet in the later books. And then lastly, I continued on and listened to another installment in a Norwegian crime series, Sporvekslingsmordet. It's by Hans Olav Lahlum. I'll link him down below. Some of his books are translated to English, not all of them yet, but a lot of them are. It's a crime series, so but like it's the same protagonist of this, it's the same policeman, but it's of course new murders and new crimes. Of course, that's how most crimes work, really. Um, and they're all set in past. So this one is set in 1965, I think. No, sorry, 1772, and it's set around a girl who's a competitive skier. So it's set around that environment a bit, and it's just a really interesting story, really. And yeah, that was my month of June 2020. I suppose, yeah, it's still today, so I suppose I could still finish up in today. Probably won't. I haven't really been feeling that much into reading today or yesterday, so yeah. I suppose sometimes that happens in the end of month. It could also just be like I'm kind of outread. I mean, sometimes you kind of go up and down in reading moods. Sometimes you want to read less and watch more TV. Sometimes you want to watch TV and read. Sometimes you just want to read and not watch TV. And yeah, so yeah, that's my update really for let's say May, for June. And yeah, I'll see you later.